Hello and welcome to the Temple of Tomes with your host, Indie Comics Jones. Today is July 18, 2021. This is episode 366. Today's book, Robyn Hood. The arc, well, it's actually a one-shot, so it's not really an arc, but it is called Goldilocks. This is 30 pages of content coming out from Zenescope. It comes in at a whopping $5.99. And it's an oversized issue, meaning you're getting like 40 pages, about 40 pages of content. So it's actually a good value. And this is a recommend, so it's an exceptional value in my opinion. Let's take a quick look at the cover here. We have this circus theme in the background with the kind of horror circus thing, I should say. And this is a pretty good depiction of what we have in the comic, at least a couple points here. Now, Robyn herself is never in this outfit at all. She's in just civilian clothes throughout, but nonetheless, it's a great cover. I like it. The actually, I think it's the variant cover C is really nice, really sexy. So, not that this isn't sexy, but the other one is very sexy. So let's take a look to see who worked on the book. Yeah, I've been liking Robyn Hood. It's my favorite of the Zenescope characters since she first debuted way back. I think it was like 2012 or so. The last issue, though, I did not like. It was Voodoo Dawn. I gave that a not recommend. However, we're back on the recommends for Robyn Hood on this one. And let's quickly go through the blurb here. All of Robyn's skills are put to the test as she tries to survive Goldie's carnival of terror. If she wants to survive, Robyn is not only going to have to defeat an endless string of murderous circus freaks, but she will have to find the strength to face off against her own inner demons. Now, the writer on this is Joe Brusha. The artwork was done by Babusu, Cortis. I always have trouble with that guy's name. The colors were done by Juan Manuel Rodriguez and letters by Taylor Esposito of Ghost Glyph Studio. So it's same team that's been on the last, I think, 4 books or so. We had Dixon. I can't think of his first name. I'm trying to blank. The famous Chuck Dixon. He did the first few arcs in the last year or so, and then it's gone over to Joe Brusha, and he's done a pretty good job. So what we get at the beginning of this story, we get a flashback to Robyn Hood's early days. Her name's actually not Robyn Hood, then it's Robyn Loxley, with a Y in the Robyn, and she's in elementary school, and she's teased and then finally bullied by the kids that are a little bit more well-off than she is. She's being raised by her mother, so that gives a little extra incentive to tease them, I guess. But at least it's better than the microaggressions. This isn't a full-out bullying, and she's not just fluffing off some or getting freaked out by microaggressions. So I appreciate that. And this was a dream that she had as she wakes up here. And she takes a look at her mother, a picture of her mother that she misses dearly, who taught her a lot of good things, as we find out in this story. So if you remember Smitty, he is a guy that showed up, I think, in the, what was it called? I think it was the Iron Maiden arc. It was 2-issue arc. It was pretty good. Kind of a Harvey Epstein storyline, and probably Iron Maiden will be back. I'm guessing. She was a pretty good character. So Smitty is making Robyn Hood train extra hard, because he's been watching her, and even though he's out of shape himself, he's saying, you got to do better. You've been just lucky. You've been just been going off your talent, and it's going to catch up with you if you don't stay in shape. So she's a little mad about that. Puts her in a bad mood, and she thinks back to when her mother brought her to the principal, saying, "Hey, these kids are bullying my child," and they're kind of just being very dismissive of all the accusations from the moms. The mom's pretty ticked off. And she tells Robyn to stick up for herself. Don't let them bully you. You've got to stand up for yourself. So then we're back to the end of the training session with Smitty, and she's kind of upset. She flips him off, takes off, and suddenly as she almost runs into this truck, and she's like, "Oh, bad driver." But it turns out there's like these 3 trucks, and they're all kind of circling her, and suddenly she is attacked. She's able to knock one of them off, and she's ready to take on things, but she gets hit with a tranq dart, and she is taken away with her bikes left behind. She wakes up in the middle of a circus tent. Turns out Goldilocks is there, up in the I don't know what you call that, a crow's nest maybe. That's where the trapeze grab the trapeze bar, and she is told she has to go through, pick out 3 doors to go through. She picks one, and this clown car comes at her. She's able to jump out of the way, and it crashes. And we see this freaky large clown get out of this clown car. So instead of like multiple clowns getting out, just this one huge that would never fit. And it kind of looks almost like Spawn Violator with the Harley hammer there. So she's got her work set out for her on this, and she's able to jump out of the way of it. And then she notices there's other killer clowns too. And this is reminiscent of a dreams that she has. She's always been kind of scared of clowns ever since she watched Killer Clowns from Outer Space with her mom years ago. She had nightmares with that. So this is like a nightmare come true. So she's trying to avoid these clowns as best she can. She doesn't have any weaponry. And she makes a dash for the pole as these giant clowns come after her, these oversized circus freaks. She's able to get away and climb to the top of one of the perches. She decides to take the tightrope across, and then she gets attacked by demon monkeys. So there's a lot of stuff going on. She gets out. She's able to get out through the exit. Suddenly, there's this, I don't know what you would call that. It looks like the Spider Queen, actually. I'm not sure if that's who it is, but she's got a bunch of daggers, and then another one of these horrible, menacing clowns is, not a clown, just a henchman, I guess, is after her. And she's able to roll and tumble and jump out of the way of all the throwing daggers, but she has been wounded a little bit. She slides down this circus slide, and she finds she's in a fun house now, in the Hall of Mirrors, and she sees the creatures. She actually sees like herself as a small child. She's seen like all these different images, and it's not quite sure how it's all working out. And then she meets what appears to be her doppelganger. And thanks to Smitty's help, I should say, and her mother's encouragement, she sees herself as a child. She remembers being bullied. She's able to pull. It's just a nice story. And then we go back to a flashback where she's seen her mom at work, and she just says, "I got beat up again," and the mother shows her how to take care of the bullies, because apparently that's the father of the kid that's done this before. So she pours a beer on him. This guy tosses her out, and he's about to hit her while the owner comes out and fires a gun. And somehow the mom gets a hold of a baseball bat. I'm not sure, but she goes after the Mustang here with a baseball bat and just starts, and then actually knocks the guy in the knee, starting to stand up for herself. So I guess maybe the baseball bat was behind the bar somehow. I'm not sure. But they go off and says, "You just got to stick up for yourself." So with that incentive, and Robyn seeing that she's not in a good spot, she's able to turn the tables on her doppelganger here, knock her through. The doppelganger decides to fade again back into the mirror, and Robyn's got her bow and arrow now. Just a standard one, not like her recurve bow that she has on the cover there. So she starts shooting all the glass of all these things that are in there. And it turns out Goldilocks is working this very sophisticated computer system, and she's able to zip out of there using a mechanized chair. And Robyn just wants to get the heck out of there herself. And she leaves the circus now at this point. You can see she's walking out the big tent, and she's going, okay, I'm going to train even harder now. I'm going to take Smitty up on his offer and work even harder. Then we show Goldilocks watching as this circus bear is with her. And what we find now is she's talking to the doppelganger. And this issue actually ends with the doppelganger here saying, I've learned a lot about Robyn Hood. I could be able to take her on. But little does she know, Robyn Hood is now very motivated to train even harder. So good setup for this character. I'm assuming Doppelganger is a new character that they're bringing in here. Now, I looked it up, and Zenescope did have a Doppelganger in a series called Conspiracy. So I don't know if it's the same character or not. At this time, I didn't read that book, but it'd be interesting to see. As you can see, she's got a little different eye than Robyn Hood does. So let's see what else Zenescope has got to offer here. We've got Grimm Fairy Tales number 50, a landmark 50th issue. Dave Franchini is working on this one. It's 40 pages of content. It's in stores now. All right. Then the annual Oz, 64 pages of content featuring Patchwork Girl. Wright is the author on that. Bell Sirens, 32 pages of content. This is Dave Franchini once again. It's in stores now. Hercules Payne versus the Scorpion Queen, 32 pages of content. Joe Bruscia, who wrote Robyn Hood, this issue here. Myths and Legends Dragon Clan by Raven Gregory. He's back with Zenescope, I guess. And moving on, there's the Zenescope Movie Club. And then we have Robyn Hood Voodoo Dawn, which this was a not recommend by me, by the way. About the only one I've not recommended in the Robyn Hood series. But this one really makes up for it. Just it has the interplay with her memories of her mother, teaching her about bullies and whatnot. Okay, Neverland Annual Dark Alliance, Jay Sadlin in stores now. Van Helsing Steampunk by Lou Ivino is also in stores now, and I'm assuming that's a trade paperback. Looks pretty cool, actually. And then we have the virtual cons schedule from Zenescope as well. No, I have not. Someone asked me if I had gone to any of these, and no, I have not. And here's a list of some of the trades that are out. Nothing that current. Their last one that came out was 2019. Most of the reviews I've been doing on Robyn Hood have happened after that. So I think I did the follow-up arc to Outlaw by Chuck Dixon. Thank you. All right. And there we have an ad for getting your comics graded. So this is a recommend. I am giving it the Indie Comics Jones Good Excavating Seal of Approval, given out only by Indie Comics Jones on this particular channel. Thanks for stopping by and watching this review. As always, please like, please subscribe. If that doesn't work, leave comments. But please subscribe. And this is Indie Comics Jones from the Temple of Tomes bidding you adieu.